it's tough with that window, and you don't realize how daunting that expiration date window is until like you have a month or two before it and you still got to pass an
Let's
exam.
welcome our next guest who just recently passed the CPA exam.
Hello, my name is Joshua Harris. I am currently a auditor at a public accounting firm in Los Angeles, California. I am originally from Massachusetts and went to school in Massachusetts as well at Northeastern University.
What was the most difficult section for you?
My two hardest sections, let me see if I can narrow it down, but my two hardest sections were reg and FAR. Um, I would say FAR was probably the hardest section for me, and it's the most it's the most accounting that I got when I was in college. So even though it's the most accounting I got when I was in college, it's the closest parallel to what I learned in school. It was just so much information compared to the other ones. Where with tax, I feel like if you understood either the individual income tax code and the business tax code, you're usually pretty good because they build on the tax codes kind of all work in unison, right? If you understand how they work, then you're usually fine for the exam. But with financial reporting, it's so many different subjects, and each account can have different implications and different things you have to remember. It's just such a wide range of information. It was hard to make sure I remembered it all. Topics are very random, and I can see on any of the exams why some people would trip up on any of them. Luckily, I have an auditing background, so I was able to lean on my understanding of audit to take audit. Um, my business uh, concepts exam, BEC, I have a background in business administration in undergrad, so luckily I was able to utilize a lot of that learning. Um, but yeah, it's tough. I think any of the four are really can be challenging. So I don't like to say which for sure are the hardest exams because it really just comes down to the person and how they can retain those very different types of accounting knowledge.
In what order did you take the CPA exam?
So the orders I had originally tried to take the exam was, and I got this through looking at YouTube videos and reading blogs and everything. Was they said take one of the hardest ones that they deem hardest, which was reg or far first, to get it under your belt. Um, and so I took reg first, and I did not pass it. So I actually took the approach of I was gonna get some of the what I deemed as easier exams done, um, and worry about the tough, difficult monsters later. So the order that I took the exams, so I took audit first. I got a 77 on audit. I took BEC second, which I got a 78. I took reg, which I got a 77, and then FAR was the one I left for last, and I actually scored the best out of all of them. I got a 79 on that one.
How long did it take you to finish the CPA exam?
So it took me a while, and a lot of it is because work came up. So I had passed audit December of 2018. I passed audit December of 2018. I had busy season come up from January to April, so it was impossible to try to take a test at that point. I had gotten ready to take BEC right after busy season in June. And what had happened was I locked myself in my room to study for a whole week. I took a week off to study. And on test day, I got sick. Yeah, I came down with like a nasty cold. I think it's because I probably stayed like in my room just studying, not like taking any breaks or not going outside to get fresh air. So I think once I emerged to go outside that morning, my body was just shocked. So I got sick during the exam. So I only finished the multiple choice question portion of it, and then I had to leave because it was impossible for me to think at that point. So I had got my test results back. Obviously, I had not passed, but I scored fairly well for only doing the multiple choice questions. So I, got my NTS again. Took it right before the 4th of July. Ended up passing it that time. At that time, I had scheduled taxation for October. I had passed it in October, and I was trying to see if I could uh, hurry up and take FAR before my busy season hit again in January. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, so I had pushed it back to the end of January. So even though it is busy for me at that time, it's a gradual busy. So I figured maybe I can try to sneak it in before that happened. Uh, didn't happen. Client had some deliverables that they wanted in January, so I had to push it back again. And during this period is they had the blackout months, and so my client filed the beginning of March. And I want to say the blackout period was like on that 19th of March or something. So I figured I'd have like 2 or 3 weeks to cram and just see if I could do it. Um, the client, the day the client was supposed to file, they actually pushed it back another week. So because of that, that messed up all my timing. So by the time busy season had ended, I was exhausted with work and just wasn't ready to take the test. So I had scheduled to take it once the blackout month had released, and coronavirus happened. So once coronavirus happened, um, like the California State Board of Accountancy had shut down, like their offices were closed. This is the beginning of March, so everything shut down at this point. And studying for the CPA exam, I was still doing it, but I wasn't really too sure what was happening because the testing centers were closed for like 2 months. So again, because of that, I had audit expiring June 6th. So I needed to take FAR by June 5th. And luckily, well, it's unfortunate because coronavirus is here, but because of that, they extended the expirations of the exams, I think by 3 months. Uh, and then they extended it again because things were still shut down until the end of the year. So audit was no longer in danger of being of expiring for me. So that was a breath of fresh air. So I had set up to take FAR in June. I took it. I did not pass, but I restudied. I honed in some of the material that I felt like I was a little bit shaky on the first time. Took it again and passed. I passed in the beginning of October. So and then I was done. So it worked. So it was tough trying to get FAR scheduled and through coronavirus and not having to worry about that anymore. But I was able to get it done. So that's my long-winded journey of finally passing all my exams.